Kiirya mix on the track.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is LaRouge. Thank you so much for taking the time out and watching this. Thank you for your support and most importantly, your continuous support. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. Click that bell so that way you stay notified when new videos are uploaded. But I truly thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing a lot with you guys. My channel is mainly going to be focused on beauty, lifestyle, and fashion, and just being my authentic self because I truly believe in keeping things real. I feel like that speaks volume. So, welcome and thank you. So, for my first video today, I wanted to talk about stress and anxiety. With everything that's been surrounding COVID-19 and everything that's going on with the Black Lives Movement, and adding personal life matters, stress and anxiety is just one of those things that always present itself, and all we can do is try to manage it and control it as best as we can. So these are some simple things that I have been doing that's been helping me in managing my stress and anxiety, and I hope it helps you. Enough of the rambling, let's get to sharing. So one of the things that I have been doing is exercising. So exercising is one of those things that really help manage stress and anxiety, in that it helps pump up your endorphins, it improves your mood, and it also, it's like meditation in motion. What that practically means is that as you work out on regular basis and you're doing physical activity, in the process of that, your focus on that physical activity and your optimism in the process of it all, gives you a clear focus to be able to remain calm and have control over everything, that you are facing and going through in life. So you can honestly do whatever you are comfortable doing when it comes to exercising. It's just about getting your body moving, and just taking yourself out of that mode of feeling anxious and feeling stressed out. Okay. The second thing that I have been doing is actually taking supplements. So vitamins are definitely great, but some of what a supplement, yeah, I know sometimes when we hear supplements, it's like, ooh, a lot of medications and all those things. But no, green tea is actually one of those supplements that I have been having a lot of. So green tea is really great in terms of managing stress. It helps relaxes your body. It helps you put you in a calm mode. It's a very refreshing drink. It creates phenols and antioxidants, which are really great for the health. So that's another thing you could try out. Thirdly, I highly recommend creating a mood in your home that's relaxing. And how have I been doing that? So what I do usually when I come off from work, I make it a habit to light candles daily. So I light candles within my living room, my bedroom, my bathroom, my kitchen, and honestly, the smell of the candle just creates a whole different aroma and makes your environment very calming. Some of calming scents that I have been using are lavender rose, orange, and orange blossoms. Those are really good calming scents. Of course, you know, if that doesn't appeal to your desire, you can use whatever appeals to your desire. It's all about creating that ambiance of relaxation. That way you're just out of that mode of feeling stressed and anxious. So that's another thing you could try out. Another thing I recommend, and I practice this a lot whenever I'm feeling down or feeling stressed or feeling anxious, I honestly just try to watch something funny. It might sound difficult to do, but honestly, the reason I say that watching something funny helps manage your stress and anxiety is because when you're in laughter mode, it's hard for you to feel anxious. And laughter is also good for your health in that it helps exercise your stomach muscles. I'm not recommending for you to laugh until you pass out. Though some things will have you laughing till you pass out, but no, that's not what we're trying to do here. So you just turn on TikTok, you forever be laughing, you know. So that's actually one of my favorite places I go to watch a lot of funny clips. So there is a lot of funny things you can watch, whatever you like, but creating a laughing moment helps kind of make you not feel anxious. So that's another simple thing you could practice in terms of just managing your stress and anxiety. Another thing I would recommend is also listening to soothing music. Um, so music is just one of those things I always believe, like, I mean, whether it has lyrics or doesn't have lyrics, it speaks to your soul. The instrument that's been used, that's been played. Another thing you could do is write it down. So what do I mean by that? So writing down what you're stressed about is one approach, but writing down the things you're grateful about is another approach to managing your stress and anxiety. I say this because when you see things visually on paper, it gives you a different perspective on how you look at it overall. You know, sometimes it's hard to visualize things when it's just on your mentor. I don't know, at least for me. You might disagree with that. But so what I usually do is, like, when I'm feeling stressed, extremely anxious and just overwhelmed, I get a piece of paper, I write down my stressors, and then I write down the things that I'm grateful for. And in that process, in that moment, trust and believe something would click to you, whereby when you're looking at the things you're grateful for, it kind of changes your demeanor and your thinking in that moment. And it kind of, takes that anxiousness and, that overwhelming stress that you're feeling, and just letting yourself know that, you know what, you know, I still have things I can be grateful for despite all these other things that are causing me to be stressed out. The thing that we also have to remember about stress and anxiety is that some things in life we can control and some things in life we cannot control. So I always emphasize you have to focus on those you can control, and those that you cannot control, let God lead, because God knows best. Okay? Like, I truly believe in not overwhelming myself anymore. I have just been trying to practice that as much as I can. So I recommend and I hope and pray you have that strength, that stamina to push forward through your stressors as you've been faced with it. But honestly, writing it down is a great way as well. It's always good to kind of count your blessings, as you are feeling like you are just stressed in that moment. Compare and contrast makes a huge difference. So, that's another thing you could practice, and I hope that helps as well. So another thing I've been doing is reducing my caffeine intake. I know you coffee drinkers are gonna be like, what is she talking about? Okay, I'm not saying that drinking coffee is a bad thing. I'm just saying that reducing my caffeine intake has helped me manage my stress and anxiety. And I've been drinking more of green tea. It's absolutely okay to drink coffee, um, but if you are finding yourself feeling more anxious and stressed, reducing your caffeine intake definitely helps. We already know that caffeine has its own um, health, disadvantages, but that's not to say that you cannot drink it. I think, definitely doing it in moderation helps, but it has worked for me, whereby when I reduce my caffeine intake, I feel less anxious, um, and it kind of helps in terms of my stress as well. So that's something you could try, and hope it helps. Another thing that I would recommend doing that does work for me, for those of you that are in a relationship, it's something that could help you. And for those of you that are not in a relationship, I hope, if that's something you're desiring, I hope that happens for you. But please don't let COVID motivate you to go back to your ex. They are clearly an ex for a reason. So just wait. God's time is the best time. But for my couples, married, in relationship, one of the things that I have been doing, that has been working for me, when I find myself feeling anxious and stressed, I honestly just, try to enjoy my partner. So what do I mean by that? So just cuddling, kissing on them, hugging on them. Intimacy actually helps reduce your stress and anxiety. I know It's not gonna happen, of course, when you're mad at the person. I know. And considering that with some of us, with COVID going on now, we've been seeing our partners more than usual, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Um, and sometimes you just wanna like, but in the happy moments, try your very best to utilize them to kind of manage your stress and anxiety. Just hug up on your partner, kissing and cuddling with them. All those things help. It helps reduce your anxiousness, and it helps manage your stress. So that's another thing that I have been doing that helps me out. And another thing that is so critical as we continue to deal with this pandemic, as we continue to fight for justice, as we, deal with everything that 2020 is presenting us. I believe that it is really critical to practice this particular thing, because it helps extremely in managing your stress and anxiety. And if you don't practice it, sometimes it actually leads to you having more stress and anxiety. So what do I mean? Please, I know we are dealing with a pandemic, and I know some people are in some unfortunate situations financially, because some of them have lost their job, and some of them are not working, or some of them their hours have been reduced, and some of them are having those hardships. I sympathize with all those that are going through that. I pray that God continues to give you the strength to fight it through. And I pray that, you are able to stand firm as you're faced with whatever the obstacles are due to this pandemic. But what I am going to say as well, in addition to that, is please, it is okay to learn to say no. And it's not something you have to be rude about as you say it. And I'm saying this because learning to say no, whether we're dealing with a pandemic or not dealing with a pandemic, in just general life, period, it is critical to learn to say no. So what do I mean by that? Practically, when people seek out for your help, whether it's financial or whether it's requiring your time, whether it's requiring your energy, your presence, whatever the case might be, if you feel that you are not in a place where you're okay, where you are able to do so, where you're able to help, please do not overextend yourself to the extent of just pleasing the other individual. That weighs a lot on your emotional and mental, and that leads to even more stress and anxiety. So I highly recommend practicing and learning to say no when you are not able to. And it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you're selfish. It just means that mentally, physically, emotionally, you are not able to help in this moment. That's not to say you cannot help them in the near future, of course. And if you feel you might know somebody who might be able to help that individual that's seeking help from you, definitely you can extend your help in that manner. Ask that person and see if that person can help that individual. But I have truly learned in life, COVID or no COVID, that sometimes we have to learn to say no. Overextending ourselves doesn't help us, especially when you're not in a place and able to do so. But if you are able to help, and if you're in a position where you can help, please don't hesitate to do so, because I truly believe being a blessing to others brings more blessings into your life. And I am a big advocate of helping. So if you can help those that are in need. But if you cannot, it is okay to say no. Just don't be rude about it. You can say in a very polite manner. You can, try to seek help from somebody else that that might be able to help them. But practice that as we're dealing with this pandemic, because that also helps manage stress and anxiety. Last but not least, to those of you that are staying with family members or friends that you are in quarantine with or lockdown, or you're seeing more often than you used to see them, due to everything surrounding the pandemic, and let's just say your foundation of relationship isn't so great, for whatever reason or history that might have led to that place that you guys are at, I encourage you. I am encouraging you to utilize this time to work on that broken foundation. I feel like everything in life happens for a reason. Maybe COVID might have been the reason, to work on the relationship of the broken foundation you guys might have, or have. So look at this time as a time of you, working on that broken foundation. I know it's not easy. I know it's not something that's gonna happen overnight, and definitely not recommending for it to happen overnight, depending on the hurt, the extent of pain that you have endured from that individual, the extent of the broken foundation, what led to it. It's definitely going to take time for healing and for you guys to be in a good place. But at the same time, I don't believe that holding on to anger, pain, and resentment towards an individual you're seeing more often is a great thing, because guess what? It's going to increase your anxiety, it's going to increase your stress, and the best way you can try to minimize that is little by little working on your relationship with that individual. And if you reach out trying to work on it and they're not receptive of it, no problem. You don't have to force it. But if the other person is receptive towards it and they are willing as well to work on that broken foundation, considering now you guys are in the same environment more often than you used to be, I highly recommend and pray that you are able to fix that, because life is so short, honestly, that sometimes you just have to learn to forgive and let go. Holding on to the pain and the anger does no good for you. It causes more emotional stress, and you don't need that. So I hope the simple things, the simple remedies that I have been doing help you out. I hope you continue to remain strong as we deal with this pandemic. I hope that whatever you're being faced with, I hope you overcome it. You're able to push through, stay strong. Know that in life, you can only control but so much, and stress and anxiety will always present itself. But the most important thing is knowing how you can manage it so that you're able to be in control of everything else in your life. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time and I truly appreciate your support. Please don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to having more of you. So thank you. Have a great day, guys.